Welcome to the 10th episode of the Pokemon Reborn Normal Monotype Catch 'em All experience. As you know, last time we proved we were the superior normal type trainer in Reborn and caught 292 Pokemon. Before we get going, drop me a like and subscribe to the channel for more. First things first, I wanted to get a couple more Pokemon EV trained. First, since apparently I messed up and stopped doing Pyroars halfway through last time, I fixed it, training it in special attack and speed. Then, since HP is the only stat that gets carried over by Ditto's imposter ability, I trained it in HP. Then, I grabbed Porygon out of the PC and trained it in special attack and speed. Finally, Alolan Raticate got attack and speed. A new part of the Tanzan Mountain has been opened, so I head there to see Saphira. This little cutscene opens up a few areas for us to explore. Immediately to her right is a cave that we can't pass through right now, but we should be able to in the next episode. We head all the way back down to where we fought Steelix in the Tanzan Depths. In this area, I'm able to pick up the Metal Coat as well as an upgrade. All the way in the depths, I find a Seviper wandering around in the spilled acid. I battle and catch Seviper, bringing the total to 293. That's about all we can do in this subregion, so we make our way out of Tanzan Mountain and onto Route 1. 7 badges in hand before we even find Route 1. Pretty weird for Pokemon game standards. Anyways, before we go far, we have to once again battle our boy, Fern. I took out Fracture right away, realizing that Rhydon was pretty much the only thing standing in my way of a Pyroar sweep. The Decidueye went down to Flamethrower pretty easily, but I made a couple miscalculations and Rhydon was able to take out Chinchino, Raticate, and Diggersby. Apparently 2 Boom Bursts from Exploud, who was in the first place, ended up doing the trick, so I could have just left it in. Anyways, after Rhydon was down, Pyroar had a clear field to one-shot Crocodile, Scyther, and Roserade all with Flamethrower thanks to the grassy terrain. Pretty easy fight. Beating Fern gives us access to this huge subregion, Aventurine. There's a ton of stuff to do here and a ton of Pokemon to catch, so let's get right into it. By heading all the way to the left, we come upon the Nature Center. One guy in here tells us he lost his glasses somewhere in the woods. On the top of the building, there's a guy who asks us to donate Dunsparce. By trading him one, we obtain Tyrogue, bringing the total to 294. Back on Route 1, there are a ton of pairs of Tauros and Bouffalant facing off in a pushing battle. By defeating Bouffalant, we're able to ride on Tauros, letting us climb ledges both ways. Defeating Tauros causes Bouffalant to run straight forward, knocking logs out of the way. Before continuing, I run up and down Route 1, making every Bouffalant in sight knock all the logs nearby them for a puzzle in a bit. Luckily, both of them are catchable, so in my battles, I catch a Tauros and I catch a Bouffalant, bringing the total to 296. Next, it's time to get some encounters in the grass on Route 1. In the morning, I catch Skiddo, Gogoat, Mudbray, Mudstale, Cherim, Miltank, and Stantler. In the daytime, I catch Rapidash. All of these Pokemon added to the total brings us over 300 to 304. Route 1 has a bunch of entrances on each side to a forest. To the south is the South Adventuring Woods, and to the north is the North Adventuring Woods. Each of these is a massive puzzle, but for now, I entered the South Woods to run around in the grass to catch some Pokemon. In the daytime, I catch Pachirisu, Primeape, Sudowoodo, and Passimian. At night, I catch Kricketune. These catches bring the total up to 309. Next, I headed up to the North Adventuring Woods. In the grass, during the daytime, I catch Oranguru, bringing the total to 310. Then, I headbutt a tree in the forest to catch Swablu, Komala, and Wormadam, bringing the total to 313. Next, I begin the gargantuan task of completing the entirety of this puzzle that I've been talking about. I'll show you the most important parts of this whole puzzle. Drop a comment and let me know if you're interested in Overworld puzzle solutions, because this game has a lot of them coming up in the next few episodes. The puzzle requires slathering honey on trees, then coming back after a number of steps to battle either Pinsir or Heracross. You can't catch these unfortunately. Anyways, whichever you don't battle will then destroy either a log or a spider web. I had 2 honeys in my bag, so I used them in the northwestmost entrance of the forest to reach a cave entrance. Inside, we've reached Celestine Mountain's second basement floor. We can't explore much in here yet, but there are some Pokemon to catch by running around. Wandering around, we're able to catch Buizel, Floatzel, Piloswine, and a very high-level Delibird for some reason. These catches bring the total to 317. In here as well is a place to go fishing. With the old rod, I catch Wishy-Washy, and with the good rod, I catch Quillfish. These catches bring the total up to 319. The entrance to the right of this one to the forest leads us to a house in the middle of the forest. Up and behind it, I pick up the Picanium Z. Inside, talking to Mew upstairs, he'll offer us a honey for each candy we have. Since the candy I picked up many episodes ago is cheaper than the price of honey, I trade him all the candies we got to get a bunch of honey for this quest. The puzzle on the east side of the north is luckily not too bad, so if you're trying to learn the mechanics of this puzzle, I recommend tackling the northeast side first. After encountering the Steel-type gym leader, lots of bull riding, and bug decimation, I'm able to access a few ponds in the corner of the forest. Here, going fishing, I catch Dewpider and Araquanid, bringing the total to 321 and finishing out the puzzle on the north side of the forest. The south part of Adventure Woods is certainly a bit more complicated. I've done this a couple times now, but in general, I go from left to right, clearing out as many obstacles as I can as I go, and then exiting out to Route 1 if I need to. There's one entrance toward the west side we need to enter with a Tauros, and then basically run all the way through the woods to the right. So that's basically our goal. After doing a lot of honey slathering, we have to take a ton of trips back out to Route 1 or even into Tanzan Mountain, to walk a bunch of steps, to summon the next Pinsir or Heracross. I found some citrus berries towards the west end, and, one entrance over, I noticed a little path sneaking east. Here, on the way over, I pull out the Floral Charm on top of a flower, which lets me battle and catch Flabebe, bringing the total to 322. Straight to the right, there is an item called the Oddish Weed hidden in the bush. I'll be using this in a quest next episode. Towards the end of solving the puzzle, I pick up some Custap berries. Towards the east side in a corner, I pick up the Tech Glasses and a Linkstone hidden behind them in a bush. Finally, running all the way to the southeast corner with the puzzle fully solved, I find a Heracross and Pinsir fighting each other, but not near a tree. Anyways, behind them, I find another Linkstone. This time, by fighting the Heracross, the Pinsir opposite agrees to join our team. We'll get Heracross a bit later. Anyways, with the Route 1 puzzle solved and Pinsir added to our total, we're at 323 Pokemon. On the very east side of Route 1, I enter the Van Hanen Estate Garden, where there's more grass. Here, I catch Girafarig, bringing the total to 324. On the other side of the maze, we enter the Van Hanen Castle, site of our 10th gym battle. Before that, though, it's time for another battle with our friendly rival Kane. He has a strong but sort of slow team. Anyways, I start with Diggersby, barely able to take out 2 of his Pokemon before going down to Meowstic. Then all I had to do was send in Raticate, click Swords Dance twice to take advantage of Meowstic being out, and sweep the rest of his team super easily. After this, Gardevoir gets kidnapped, so we have to travel all the way back across Route 1 and enter the Grand Gate. Thanks to thick Raddimus, apparently, we end up down under the stairs again, in a brand new area, the Cité Arc d'Astrée. However you pronounce it. In the grass down here, we're able to catch Drowsy, Hypno, and Claydol, bringing the total to 327. Next up is another little puzzle. Normally you have to deduce via logic which statues are light and which are dark. I've memorized all of them. Anyways, after clearing this part, we get to the top of the tower, and for some reason there are encounters up here. So, we catch Natu, Xatu, and Sigilyph, bringing the total to 330 for the episode. Up on the top, we get to resolve this little chunk of the storyline. You're given a choice to side with Raddimus or side with L. Raddimus is the correct answer, and you get relationship points for doing it, as well as perhaps a true ending in the final release, though we don't know so yet. But if you go this route, you can't progress without winning the following battle. If we chose to side with L, it would let us lose and progress the story, but of course we aren't doing that, so we side with Raddimus and prepare to win. We get to fight a level 75 Arceus on the Crystal Cavern field. And I managed to forget to bring Blissey, in spite of the fact that Arceus only has special moves. Anyways, unfortunately, this field boosts judgment, so I had to lead with Focus Sash Diggersby to get rid of it with Earthquake so it wouldn't one-shot every single Pokemon I had. Chinchino somehow outsped Arceus, so it was able to get a lot of damage off. All it would take was 2 Boom Bursts from Exploud, including one very lucky critical hit to win the fight. Definitely won because of the luck there, but this battle can certainly be beaten in a number of ways with normal types, I'm sure. Anyways, with that out of the way, we get to watch some scenes play out, then realize the Grand Gate is finally opened. Now the time it takes for me to get from Route 1 to Reborn City off-screen is dramatically lower. Woohoo! In the city, I head to the department store now that we have another sticker. A couple of random, somewhat decent hold items are now available, as well as X items, which we aren't going to use, of course, for our run. That wraps up all the side content in this episode, so we head back to Raddimus' castle to get on with the gym. Here we have to do some chess puzzles to progress. Again, I've memorized where each piece has to go, so that makes it a lot easier to get it done. Anyways, with that out of the way, it's time for our 10th gym battle against the Psychic Gym Leader, Raddimus. Raddimus fights us on the chessboard field, with a slow team centered around the move Trick Room. So, I made it my mission in the first turn to knock out Reuniclus, preventing him from getting up Trick Room. Then, I sent in Diggersby on Gallade and Metagross, clicked Swords Dance twice while I was able to, and a couple of Earthquakes was literally all I needed to do to one-shot the remaining 4 Pokemon. A super easy sweep with anything that can set up at all and is faster than most of his slow Pokemon, as long as you can prevent Trick Room in the first place. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode. As far as raw episode counts go, we're now halfway done with this entire series, though I'm positive some of the later episodes, specifically maybe episode 17 or 18, will be super long. Anyways, thanks for watching. Click one of the magical buttons below to like or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.